its attack with a controversial post that they put out this morning. The post that you see on your screens was put out by the Congress party where the Prime Minister's head was missing, captioned Gayab. The jibe, laced with the familiar 56-inch chest taunt, soon found resonance even in Pakistan. That post was shared by a former minister with a sarcastic dig, and that has now given ammunition to the BJP that has hit back at the Congress party and hit back hard. They've branded the Grand Old Party as Pakistan's PR machinery. They've coined the term Lashkar-e-Congress. Meanwhile, the PDP has called the deportation of Pakistani nationals inhuman. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath was among the BJP leaders who accused the opposition of endangering national security at a time when the country must stand together and seek retribution. Congress leader Dinesh Gundu Rao, in fact, is the latest one that has triggered a storm with his comment despite a gag coming in from the Congress party yesterday to not make off-the-cuff remarks. Dinesh Gundu Rao has now accused the Prime Minister of politicizing terror incidents right before elections, linking it to Bihar elections which are months away.
भारत के लक्ष्य के लिए अगले 25 वर्षों की समय सीमा तय की है। हमारे पास समय सीमित है, लक्ष्य बड़े हैं। ये मैं वर्तमान स्थिति के लिए नहीं कह रहा हूं। भारत के लक्ष्य के लिए अगले 25 वर्षों की समय सीमा तय की है। हमारे पास समय सीमित है, लक्ष्य बड़े हैं। ये मैं वर्तमान स्थिति के लिए नहीं कह रहा हूं।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की रणनीति और कुछ नहीं है, वो विभाजनकारी रणनीति रही है, ध्रुवीकरण की राजनीति रही है, लोगों को बदनाम करने की रणनीति रही है। जो जनता के मुद्दे हैं उससे ध्यान और कहीं हटाने की रणनीति रही है। मैं उस पर आज कुछ नहीं कहूंगा।
I think the Congress, some of the people who put out posters about Mr. Modi was in a way to say that where is Mr. Modi? Is he addressing the media? Is he clarifying anything? Has he answered any questions? He goes to Bihar and he continues to take part in the election rally when all the other opposition leaders have called for a meeting. So for him, his election rally is more important. But is he questionable? Can people ask him what has happened? Has the media got the opportunity to ask him? Any other country leader would have gone in front of the media and taken questions and given answers. When Pahalgam, when Pulwama happened, he was in Jim Corbett shooting, and now when this happens here in Pahalgam, he hangs around in Bihar.
Pallavi now joins us, getting us more perspective on this. Pallavi, how does the Congress see this? Because there was a gag order of sorts that was put in place yesterday. Leaders were told not to speak out of turn, but clearly that message hasn't reached every single Congress leader.
In fact, yesterday, after the gag order was issued, just an hour or so later, the Congress's social media handle and the official one came out with that picture of the Prime Minister minus his head. They also released a video where they spoke about the horrors of the Pahalgam terror, but also did not stop shy of, taking pot shots at the government and at the Prime Minister. And less than 24 hours after the gag order, we saw the biggest of them all coming in from Gundu Rao, who seems to be suggesting that the Pahalgam terror attack was orchestrated so as to benefit the government and the BJP electorally. Examples were being given of Godhra riots, for that matter, Pulwama, and therefore suggesting that this is also done just on the threshold of the Bihar elections. So gag order or no gag order, the Congress leaders are not swayed by it, and whatever they want to say, they're going ahead and saying it. By doing so, Poonam, they're not only giving an ammunition to the BJP, but in terms of the perception about a national political party, which itself has lost two of its prime ministers, two acts of terror, it is also painting a very sorry picture for itself and also emboldening Pakistan, because that's exactly what Pakistan is talking about. That when your own leaders are doubting this terror attack, why are you then pointing a finger at us?
Absolutely, and the war words between the Congress and the BJP continues there. In fact, Pallavi, do stay on with us. Let's listen into some of those reactions that have poured in.
इनको बाकायदा आपस में गुफ्त शनीद करनी चाहिए और हमेशा कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि हर जो तजाद है, जिस पर इख्तिलाफ है राय का, उसको बातचीत के जरिए हल करे, चाहे हालात कुछ भी हो।
कश्मीर में पुलगाम में जो हुआ उसका खुल करके तमाम देश के लोगों ने, हर जात धर्म के लोगों ने खुल करके उसकी निंदा की और ये सब ने, खास तौर से मुसलमान, ये चिल्ला चिल्ला कर कह रहा है भारतवर्ष का मुसलमान की सरकार के साथ हम हैं, सरकार कड़े से कड़ा एक्शन लेना चाहिए आतंकवाद के खिलाफ। आतंकवादियों ने वहां जात पूछ के मारा, तो आप जानते हैं भारतवर्ष में क्या हो रहा है आज। हिंदू मुस्लिम को, ये जब से सरकार आई है ना, हिंदू मुस्लिम किया जा रहा है। आतंकवादियों को मालूम था, लगता है कि ये बात करेंगे ना तो देश के अंदर जो अशांति फैलेगी।
पहलगाम में जो हमला हुआ है, पाकिस्तान को कब सबक सिखाएंगे आप? बीजेपी इधर उधर न करे, कभी कांग्रेस का किसी नेता का बयान आ जाता है तो बहाने न खोजे।
Payal also joining us on this broadcast, getting us more perspective. Payal, as far as the BJP is concerned, they see this as the Congress crossing the line when they want to question the government, but instead they are turning out to questioning the country.
Well, of course, the Congress party has often been, caught on the wrong side of the fence, once questioning the valor of our armed forces. You remember when the surgical strikes took place, and now questioning the intent of the government. And of course, that the depiction that has been put out on the official handle of the Congress party tells you volumes of what the Congress party really stands for. So multiple leaders in the BJP, whether it's Union Minister Kiran Rijiju or Nishikant Dubey, or multiple leaders including Gaurav Bhatia, come out and really say that Congress ka haath आतंकवाद के साथ, Congress का हाथ Pakistan के साथ. That's the kind of theory that the BJP leaders are believing right now, because they basically feel that the Congress party, which has been a party which has been in power for so long, should be the least who should be questioning anybody on national security issues. They in fact understand how governance really works, and they should be working in tandem with the union government and expressing solidarity towards the victims instead of insulting the victims. So, whether it's of course questioning the intent of the government back then when the surgical strikes took place, or now, there's nothing which has changed about the Congress party. That's what the people in the government and the party are saying.
Right, Payal and Pallavi, do stay on with us, because the reactions that are pouring into this big political face-off are coming in thick and fast. Both sides are not budging. Congress leaders, one after another, unfortunately for the party, making these controversial comments, giving an issue for the BJP, handing them that issue on a platter. Let's listen into some of those reactions.
पहलगाम आतंकवादी हमले के बाद दुनिया भर के देशों ने भारत का समर्थन किया है, आतंकवादी हमले की निंदा की है, लेकिन भारत के अंदर बैठे ही कुछ राजनीतिक दल, कांग्रेस समेत कुछ नेता ऐसे हैं जो बार बार आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा देने वाले पाकिस्तान का समर्थन करते हैं, उनके बोलते हैं, एक तरह से पर्दा डालने का काम कर रहे हैं, उनको पहले ही क्लीन चिट देने का काम करते हैं।
जैसा मैंने कहा कि एक सेंसिटिव विषय है और मुझे लगता है इसकी सेंसिटिविटी को समझना विपक्ष की भी उतनी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है। कल जिस तरीके से उमर अब्दुल्ला जी का जम्मू कश्मीर की विधानसभा में जिस तरीके से उनका बयान रहा, इस तरीके की गंभीरता की फिलहाल ज़रूरत है। पर ऐसे में कांग्रेस जैसी पार्टियां अगर इस पे भी अगर राजनीति ही करेंगी तो ये उचित नहीं है।
कांग्रेस पार्टी पूरी तरह कंफ्यूज्ड पार्टी है, उन्हें खुद नहीं पता उनका स्टैंड क्या है। 50% नेता पाकिस्तान का पक्ष ले रहे हैं, कोई राहुल गांधी का पक्ष ले रहे हैं, कोई देश का पक्ष ले रहे हैं। जब देश संकट में है तो एक पार्टी 100 बयान नहीं चलेंगे, ये राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा का मसला है।
Now, Pallavi, until yesterday, the Congress's defense was some of these comments that have come in are from individual leaders, and it's not the party line, that the party as a whole stands with the government. But that changed after the official social media handle put out that particular post, and that has now become the talking point. What is the Congress's defense now?
No defense at all. In fact, when this question was asked of Mr. Jairam Ramesh, he skirted this entire argument by instead talking about a special session of parliament, which they have been asking for from the Prime Minister. What the Congress is saying is that it's a right of every opposition party to ask tough questions, and they have a right to ask for accountability. But, there is no explanation for the kind of footage you're putting out, the kind of posts you're putting out, because they are not about accountability over here. It is very much a personal attack. And the question, of course, at this point of time is that when you are seeing political parties exercising restraint, whether it's the TMC, whether it's the Samajwadi Party, why is it that the Congress Party, which is the principal national opposition party with a pan-India presence, which itself has suffered and become victims of acts of terror, is not understanding that there is a Lakshman Rekha which perhaps needs to be drawn? When we tried to speak to the Congress leaders about this controversy, their rebuttal to us was that what kind of a controversy are you talking about? It's no controversy at all.
It's no controversy at all for them, but clearly this has given the BJP ammunition to target the Congress Party, especially since somebody from Pakistan, a former minister in the Pakistani government, has taken this particular post of the Congress Party to try and mock and ridicule the country, try and mock and ridicule India, which has given more ammunition to the BJP. I request you to stay on with us. Let's listen into some more reactions.
This is not an innocent post by the Congress Party. This is not an innocent post. It is a sinister design, a poisonous design, trying to weaken the integrity of our nation, Bharat. They are trying to target the Prime Minister of the country and giving signals to Pakistan.
आपने देखा होगा जब 22 अप्रैल को पहलगाम में पर्यटकों पर हमला हुआ था, आतंकी हमला हुआ था, समाजवादी पार्टी के नेताओं के बयान किस किस प्रकार के बयान आते हैं, ये पता लगाने में ही कठिनाई होती है कभी कभी कि ये समाजवादी पार्टी के नेता बयान दे रहे हैं या कोई पाकिस्तान का प्रवक्ता बयान दे रहा है।
आज कांग्रेस पार्टी अपने ऑर्डर्स पाकिस्तान से ले रही है। उसी कांग्रेस पार्टी के ट्वीट को पाकिस्तान के एक पूर्व मंत्री कोट करते हैं। तो आज देश के सामने ये स्पष्ट हो चुका है कि कांग्रेस और पाकिस्तान के आतंक के डीप स्टेट की जुगलबंदी चल रही है।
नहीं, नेचुरली ये कितना बड़ा हादसा हुआ जिसमें इतने सारे लोग, बेगुनाह लोग मारे गए, तो नेचुरली उसमें पूरा माहौल ही बदल जाता है और ऐसे कुछ चीजें हो जाती हैं जिसकी एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं होती है हमें। पर ऐसा होना चाहिए कि जैसे जो मिलिटेंट्स के साथ डील करते हुए ये जरूरी है कि ध्यान रखा जाए कि आम लोगों के घर न गिराया जाए। और जो लोग यहाँ बाहर से आए हुए हैं, पाकिस्तान से आए हुए, तो उसमें कोई ऐसे लोग हैं, ऐसी औरतें हैं जिनकी शादी 30 साल 40 साल पहले हुई है, या मतलब जिनके बच्चे हैं, ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन हैं, उनका घर तो हिंदुस्तान है, वो तो अपने आप को हिंदुस्तानी समझते हैं, वो इस वक्त इस उम्र में कहाँ जाएंगे। तो मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि होम मिनिस्टर साहब इसका सिंपैथेटिक व्यू लेंगे।
जहाँ तक आज के इस सानहे का ताल्लुक है जो पहलगाम में हुआ, कटिंग अक्रॉस रिलीजियस, पॉलिटिकल, कल्चरल लाइंस, मेरे लिए काफ़ी बड़ी बात है ये, हम सब के लिए बड़ी बात है ये। क्या एक सानहे के मौके पर पूरी कम्युनिटी जो है लोगों के वो जमा हुए और एहतजाज किया। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को मुहासबा करना चाहिए, हम सबको, खास तौर पर उनको जिनकी जिम्मेदारियां ज़्यादा हैं, जिनके हाथ में मुल्क की बागडोर है। ऐसा क्यों हुआ, कहाँ पर लैप्सेस रहे, उनका जायज़ा लिया जाना चाहिए और गिरेबान में झांक कर देखना चाहिए कि ऐसा न हो आने वाले वक्त में सही कदम।
कई बार दुख होता है, जैसे ऑल पार्टी मीट थी, प्रधानमंत्री जी के आने से उस फोरम की गरिमा और बढ़ती, एक जो गांभीर्य है वो बढ़ता। रिटोरिकल चीजें चूक जाती हैं कई दफा और अब वक्त भी नहीं है रिटोरिकल चीजों का। कई चीजें हो रही हैं दुनिया में, पूरे जियोपॉलिटिकल सेटअप में जो चीजें हो रही हैं उसको लेकर के भारत का दृष्टिकोण बेहद साफ है और वो प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में सभी दलों की ओर से वो जाना चाहिए। वो कभी कभी मिसिंग लिंक रहता है। वो
कांग्रेस के नेताओं को तभी रोटी हजम होती है जब वो प्रधानमंत्री को 2-4 गालियां दे ले, उन पर सवाल खड़ा कर रहे। इसलिए कांग्रेस बिहेव्स, आर्मी फाइट करने जा रही है तो आर्मी कमांडर का विरोध करेंगे, अपमान करेंगे। डेमोक्रेसी आ रही है तो नेता पार्टी का विरोध करेंगे, गाली देंगे। समाज में कुछ अच्छा काम करेंगे नहीं और अच्छे करने वालों को बदनाम करना, ये उनका पॉलिटिकल तरीका हो गया है। मुझे भी लगता है कि सेशन करने से अच्छा होगा। वो मांग किए है, हम समझते हैं ये मांग जायज मांग है। टीएमसी पार्टी ऑफिशियली स्टैंड नहीं लिया, लेकिन मेरा पर्सनल मत है कि होना चाहिए।
आखिरकार वही हुआ जिसका डर था। कांग्रेस की बातों को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मंच पर उठाना पाकिस्तान ने प्रारंभ कर दिया है। कांग्रेस पाकिस्तान के डिफेंस में आई पहलगाम को लेकर, और पाकिस्तान उसी डिफेंस को ग्लोबल कम्युनिटी के सामने पेश कर रहा है और अपने आप को ऑब्जॉर्व कर रहा है। ये पहली बार नहीं है। 26/11 के बाद भी हिंदुओं ने किया, ये पाकिस्तान के द्वारा नहीं किया गया था। ये कांग्रेस का नैरेटिव था, पाकिस्तान ने गलत इस्तेमाल किया। ये तो तुकाराम ओमड़े जी ने पकड़ लिया था कसाब को, तब जाके सच्चाई बाहर आई। फिर हमने देखा समझौता में यही, पुलवामा में यही। हर बार पाकिस्तान को क्लीन चिट दो, इस्लामिक जिहाद की लीपापोती करो। ये आखिरकार रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है?
Congress's Dinesh Gundu Rao, in fact, has now stuck to his guns. He's defending the controversial remarks that he has made on Pahalgam attack, where he linked the Prime Minister's comments after the attack to elections in Bihar. He remains defiant despite the gag order that was put in place by the Congress party yesterday. He says, instead of asking me questions, why aren't these questions asked of the central government? Listen to that reaction coming in from Dinesh Gundu Rao.
So those are not the serious issues. We should discuss serious issues. The serious issue is that there was a security failure, and the government has accepted there is a security failure, and now we should ensure that it doesn't happen again, and we have to see what further steps we need to take. What somebody puts in Pakistan, what somebody puts in some other part of the world. In today's world, we can't be reacting to social media, posts. That is not serious politics.
So my last question to you, the BJP says that, on one hand, the Congress says that they're going to support all of the initiatives of the centre as far as national security or the entire Pahalgam issue is concerned. But on the other side, targeting the Prime Minister personally like this doesn't really, show that unity that...
See, Prime Minister should have been very clear about what he wants to do. He should have discussed with all the opposition leaders. By disregarding that, is he above everybody? Is the question. You should take everybody into confidence. You should call everybody, speak to them, discuss with them. You can't just I'll send the defense minister, I will send somebody else. Right? So that is what we expect the Prime Minister to do, to take everybody into confidence, to make everybody feel that we are one. But if he thinks Bihar election is more important, using that platform to try and use it as an election campaign, that is not right. That is not right. How can you defend that? So you can't make everything into an election campaign or something to gain for your own political purpose. That is not right.
Sir, my question.
Sudat now joins us, getting us more perspective. Sudat, there's a gag order in place by the Congress party. There's politics that's transpiring. The BJP has an issue with the kind of comments that Congress leaders have made. But Dinesh Gundu Rao there, sticking to his guns, he says there's nothing wrong in what I've said.
Yeah, clearly he seems to be defending his remarks. In fact, he goes on to later say that, the media should be asking these questions to the government, and that if there was a gag order, why was I being approached? So he continues to remain extremely defiant in this regard. He says that this should not be used for an election platform. So clearly the Congress's gag order means little, means zilch, given that none of the people, none of the leaders, especially from Karnataka too, have not been able to be reined in. As a result of this gag order, no one seems to be gagged at all, given that the comments continue to flow in, and this is not just going to hurt the Congress politically, but it's also going to just, be fodder for our neighboring countries as well, including Pakistan. They are going to make more use of the fact that there is a lot of dissidence within India about how we must counter this entire Pahalgam attack. So clearly there is a lot of dissidence within the Congress itself, and a gag order, clear diktats from Mallikarjun Kharge, the AICC chief, and several others. He having made suggestions several times in the past that the entire issue should not be politicized. means nothing in what is actually seen on the ground here. You can see many ministers from Karnataka have made comments. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has made comments in this regard, and now you can see that Health Minister Dinesh Gundu Rao was further added to it, saying that this was just being used for politics and for elections. And really, the Prime Minister was negligent in his duties here. This is basically what Health Minister Dinesh Gundu Rao is saying. So clearly, this is only going to come as more fuel to the BJP to further attack the Congress over its overall response to the Pahalgam terror attack. And of course, as I mentioned before, this is only going to present the clear picture to Pakistan that we are not a united country in this regard.
And that's really what the BJP is targeting the Congress with, that this only gives Pakistan, the common enemy that India should stand united against, a handle. And the Congress seems to be habitual in doing that, is what the BJP is now claiming. They've cited several such instances from the past as well, where Congress leaders have been quoted by Pakistani media or by Pakistani leaders to take a jibe at India, which was seen this time around as well. Now, speaking of Karnataka leaders, Sudat, as far as Mr. Siddaramaiah is concerned, or even Santosh Lad is concerned, both of them came out and clarified their comments. They said that their comments were misrepresented, that they were taken out of context. But as far as Dinesh Gundu Rao goes, he says there's nothing wrong in what I said. He's sticking to his guns despite seeing that pattern of other leaders having to retract.
Yes, clearly, you can see that, a lot of statements are being made. You can see that CM Siddaramaiah actually issued a certain clarification. Minister R.B. Timapura, even though it was a half-baked one, perhaps he has issued some sort of clarification. But I think here, at least Minister Dinesh Gundu Rao is sticking to his guns and saying that he will stand by his statements. And that PM Narendra Modi was politicizing this. He has questioned why he was not present at this very meeting. Remember, ACC Chief Mallikarjun Kharge too fumed at the fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi was not present at this meeting. But he did not take it anywhere else from there. He said that the Congress would continue to cooperate with the central government about how they actually proceed with this entire retaliation to Pakistan over the Pahalgam terror attack. But right here, he says that this is also being used for politics, and that PM Narendra Modi being present at an election campaign in Bihar was just reflective of the fact that this is just being used for political games, for election gains. So clearly the gag order seems to have no effect, and he's not even apologized or presented any form of clarification, at least in this regard. Will that mean that the party steps in and actually issues a stern warning? That is something we have to see, because clearly when questioned about a gag order, he said the media should go question the central government and hold them accountable. And he says that if there was a gag order, why was I being questioned by the media at all? So he's lashed out at the media, in fact. So clearly things are not being run well so far within the party. The gag order, the diktat that has been issued by the Congress High Command seems to have no effect at all, given that we have seen
clearly. So that do stay on with us. Shahzad Poonawalla of the BJP is with us. Thank you so much for speaking with us on CNN News 18. Your first reaction, we've seen several Congress leaders come out and make the comments. Some of them have clarified, tried to backtrack as well. But Dinesh Gundu Rao from Karnataka sticking to his guns. He says this is all linked to Bihar elections.
You see, we are saying from day one that Congress has now become the version of ISIS or Pakistan Parast Party, and therefore it is trying to give Pakistan a clean sheet. It is trying to blame India for all of the activities that have taken place in Pahalgam. Dinesh Gundu Rao has done this after Jairam Ramesh saying that all of these were personal opinion, and Dinesh Gundu Rao sticking to his guns shows that he is speaking language and the mindset of Rahul Gandhi. राहुल गांधी के विचारों को ही कर्रा ने बताया, सिद्धरामैया ने बताया, थेमापुर ने बताया. It was spoken by Saifuddin Soz, and now Mr. Gundu Rao, he is speaking the line of the party. Otherwise, I asked Jairam Ramesh, will he sack Gundu Rao? Will they take action on Gundu Rao? They won't take action because this is the line. And 26/11 also they gave clean sheet to Pakistan. Samjhauta they gave clean sheet to Pakistan. Pahalgam they are giving clean sheet to Pakistan. Pakistan is celebrating. They are putting the leaders of Congress on the front page of their newspapers and their TV channels because the Congress is giving them international alibi to get away from the Pahalgam terrorist attack.
Shahzad, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. The allegations and the counters coming in from the Congress and the BJP continue to escalate with each passing minute. We'll keep a track of that and everything else that's going on ground as far as the operations against terror in Pahalgam and in Jammu and Kashmir are concerned. Before now, a quick pause on this edition of Nation at 5.
MDH का
India's action against Pakistan is going to go on the offensive further. India will be stopping the import from Pakistan through third countries. So that is what we had already spoken to you about, that this is an impending thing that is going to happen, and now there is a confirmation on that very news break that we brought to you on CNN News 18 that all imports that Pakistan is going to do and is been doing as far as Indian products are concerned through third channels like countries like Sri Lanka, UAE and Singapore for that matter, that stands stopped. So no imports of Indian goods will be allowed into Pakistan. Whether it is as it is directly through India is an old story. It no longer happens. Very little trade between India and Pakistan. But even through third countries like UAE, Sri Lanka and Singapore, that right now stands stop. India is working out the deal with these three nations so that any Indian good does not arrive in Pakistan through these channels. An important update. Pallavi has all of these details. Pallavi, we have been talking about this, that this is a possible move that India is considering. This is going to further cripple the Pakistan economy, but India needs to make the move when it is about these three pointed countries. We're talking about Sri Lanka, we're talking about UAE and also Singapore. I believe these are the three countries because of which Indian goods arrive in Pakistan. Just tell us more about this.
That's right. So what we are picking up from our top government sources is that it's going to be an all-out economic war also against Pakistan, apart from mounting a strong military action against it. And what you do is that Pakistan is something whose economy is in dire straits. It depends heavily as far as its imports are concerned. And to talk specifically about India, it depends a lot on imports from India in the realm of pharmaceuticals, whether it is in the realm of sugar, fruits, medicines, drugs, fertilizers, all of these factors. Now there is a lot of direct trade which was taking place between India and Pakistan, but there was also alternative routes which were often used for the goods to land in Pakistan or for goods from Pakistan to land in India. Dubai also being one of them, Singapore, then of course Sri Lanka. These are other countries through which that route is of course was often used. What we are picking up from way of our top government sources is a two-pronged attack. One, these routes are now going to be monitored so that there is no other way goods from Pakistan can land on Indian soil, and similarly our goods will of course not go to them. Second, there are a large number of people in the trading community, that's exporters and importers, all of them have also been sounded out that you are not going to be using any platform or any such route where you are going to be benefiting Pakistan economically. That is also another crackdown which is going to come in from the government. So not essentially trying to isolate Pakistan and ensure that the people of Pakistan pay the price for the rogue activities of those who are in power over there.
So, Pallavi, that essentially means that that entire air cargo route that has been taken by Pakistan to import these products into their country, that stands shut as well?
Shutting the airspace completely from Pakistan to India, that is something which is also in the realm of much discussion. But certainly when we talk about stopping the trade routes, any kind of indirect bringing in of goods and into Pakistan and out of Pakistan, obviously this is also the route which is going to be tracked, which is going to be monitored, and that is where this kind of an import is completely going to be stopped. I'm going to give you a very quick example which was given to us by a senior government official. Is, for example, Dubai is a very popular route. There are lots of Pakistani apparel which are very popular in it.
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. We have some news now coming in, and this is a CNN News 18 exclusive. Pakistan is now readying to challenge India's decision on the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty. They're planning a legal basis to appeal against India. Pakistan is likely to appeal at all forums, is what we're given to understand. They're likely to knock on the doors of the United Nations, the ICJ and the World Bank. The World Bank, remember, is the third party as far as the Indus Water Treaty goes. Pakistan's Attorney General is now preparing the document, according to sources that have revealed to us the strategy that is coming to the fore from the Pakistani government now. Remember, there were several diplomatic steps that have been taken by the Indian side in the aftermath of the Pahalgam attack. A suspension and putting in abeyance of the Indus Water Treaty was one of the first and most decisive steps that India had taken. Looks like now, a week on from that decision, Pakistani government has finally decided to explore its options. Siddhant now joining us, getting us more details. What more can you tell us, Siddhant?
Well, that's right, Poonam. In fact, Manoj Gupta is bringing this exclusive input for us, where he has spoken to his sources, and his sources have confirmed this to him, that Pakistan is preparing a full legal battle against India. In fact, the Attorney General of Pakistan and the Law Minister of Pakistan, they both met, and in fact, they are looking into the grounds to challenge the decision of India to keep Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance. So they are likely to move to International Court of Justice, United Nations and World Bank, since World Bank is signatory of this treaty when it was signed back in 1960s. Now, top sources are telling this to Manoj Gupta, that Pakistan is calling it a breach, India keeping Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance. But also, Poonam, the fact is that India has not suspended the treaty, India has not withdrawn from the treaty, India has very smartly used the word abeyance, keeping the treaty in abeyance. In fact, I would also like to draw viewers' attention to the letter which was written by Water Ministry of India to the Water Ministry of Pakistan. Perhaps the very opening paragraph of that letter says that this treaty has been kept in abeyance because twice notices were served by the Indian side to the Pakistani side, asking to comply with the amendments that Indian side is perhaps looking for in the treaty. These notices were sent in 2022 and 2023, but there was no response from the Pakistani side. So that is also one of the reasons cited in the letter which has been written by the Indian side to the Pakistani side, perhaps the last official communication between the two sides as far as Indus Waters Treaty is concerned. So it clearly says that because at that time there was no response from Pakistan, so it is also one of the reasons that a treaty has been kept in abeyance. Then other than this, obviously, cross-border terrorism, which has been one of the other reasons cited by India in the communications. Perhaps since Pakistan holds no cards now, there is very limited option left with them. There's also a lot of domestic pressure on Shehbaz Sharif's government, on Pakistani army. So now Manoj Gupta is reporting for us is that Attorney General of Pakistan and Law Minister, in fact, they both are preparing grounds to challenge this decision of India at international organizations, International Court of Justice, United Nations and World Bank.
Right, Siddhant, do stay on with us. Former diplomat J.K. Tripathi is with us on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us on CNN News 18. Now, how do you look at this development? India had decided to put the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance. Pakistan now seems to be exploring its legal options. But legally speaking, is India in the right? Can we do this in abeyance of this treaty and not have repercussions for it?
Yes, I certainly think so. Because, in the treaty itself, it is mentioned that treaty cannot be abrogated without the consent of both parties, right? But it never mentions anything about suspension or the minimum or maximum period of suspension. So we can very much suspend it. Even abrogation, though the treaty says that it cannot be abrogated unilaterally, but Article 60 of Vienna Convention of Law of Treaties clearly states that if one party finds the other party has made a material breach of the treaty, it can be abrogated unilaterally. Pakistan has already breached because Pakistan has already drained the river in Sindh, and it has made a left bank drainage system for 500 kilometers, by which it has diverted the flow of river, and it has by flow of Indus River, and the part of it has come to Run of Kutch, flooding Run of Kutch, part of Run of Kutch. That means diluting our salt fields, which is a serious breach. So that is one thing. Now, Pakistan's options. Pakistan wants to go to World Bank, who had brokered this treaty. World Bank has clearly said yesterday that they do not have, they are not in a position to mediate or hear anything because they are because this is political issue, and World Bank just has to see whether whether the treaty is being implemented or not, if it is being implemented properly or not. If it is not being implemented, it is none of the business of World Bank. World Bank has clarified it.
Right.
Secondly, if Pakistan wants to go to ICJ, they must know that India has not recognized the statute of ICJ. So ICJ's ruling are not binding on India. Third is UN. If they go to UN General Assembly, anything passed by General Assembly goes to Security Council.
Right.
Now, Security Council, if there is any proposal condemning India, we have at least 3 permanent members on our side, that is US, France and Russia. So even if one member vetoes, the proposal will fall apart.
Right.
So out of these 3 options that Pakistan is exploring, none of them is workable for them.
Right. Mr. Tripathi, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. A former diplomat, KP Fabian, also joining us on this broadcast. Your perspective, sir, your opinion. Putting in abeyance a treaty seems to be the legal grey zone currently where India is at. So even if Pakistan does knock on the doors of the World Bank, the ICJ or the United Nations, there's very little that will come their way?
Let us start with the ICJ. Did I hear it correctly that India is not part of the ICJ? Well, if that was said, that is a mistake. ICJ is part of the International Court of Justice. It's part of the UN Charter. And every member of the UN is obliged.
Right.
So let's get it right. Second, as regards the World Bank, well, there was perhaps a time when India could have been amenable to pressure from the World Bank because, we were short of foreign exchange and this and that. Situation is so far different.
Right.
And there is no question of World Bank exerting any pressure on India. Coming to the United Nations, well, there is a General Assembly where a resolution can be passed, but which cannot be enforced. And then, of course, there is the Security Council. Now, there again, I do not expect Pakistan succeeding in getting enough support either in the General Assembly or in the Security Council. At the same time,
sorry to interrupt you there, KP Fabian. We just have some piece of information that's now trickling in. There's a key huddle that seems to be taking place at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, which is the Prime Minister's residence. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, NSA Ajit Doval and External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar are all at that key meeting that is currently underway. We are trying to get you more details, but the Prime Minister's residence is where hectic parleys are currently on, is what we're learning. Akash joins us to get us more details. Yes, Akash. Akash, if you can hear me, we're given to understand there's a key huddle that's currently underway at the Prime Minister's residence. We'll try and reconnect that line with my colleague Akash and get you more details of this meeting. But what we're gathering right now is that Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is currently at the Prime Minister's residence at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval are all present in that particular meeting. The Chief of Defence Staff as well is in attendance for this particular meeting, is what we're learning. There is a key meeting that is currently underway at the Prime Minister's residence. India, of course, has been hitting Pakistan diplomatically. Several diplomatic steps have been taken, even though the chorus for retribution, for avenging the Pahalgam attack is growing louder within the country and from ally nations of India around the world as well. At such a time, there are several parleys that are being held in Jammu and Kashmir to review security. There are several meetings that are taking place here in the national capital as well, and one such huddle is currently taking place at the Prime Minister's residence at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, in fact, here in the national capital. NSA Doval, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, the Chief of Defence Staff, and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar are all present in that meeting. Next steps as far as policy against Pakistan, next steps against Pakistan in the aftermath of the Pahalgam attack are all being discussed as we speak.
You're on Take 3 Shots. I'm Anand Narasimhan, and even as we speak, Rahul Shivshankar, Zakir Jacob are with us here in the studio, and the NSA. We have the Raksha Mantri present there, and we also have Prime Minister Narendra Modi at LKM. There is this high-level meeting. The CDS is present there. So